I don't fucking know what I'm doing. I'm just everything. That's what's up. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so hi. My name is Chemical. I make videos now. And I thought I should make the first video on Yasuo, so here it goes. First videos! Okay, but in all seriousness, hi, welcome to the channel, whatever, blah blah blah. I don't feel like introducing myself. I'm making a video on Yasuo. Because Yasuo is essentially, well, I don't know what he did, what exactly he is. I'm not sure what League says he is, but whatever it is, it's probably wrong. Yasuo is a attack speedy, critting, CC applying, ulting everything faggot. That's all he is. It's just CC applying faggot. And essentially, his job is to harass enemy tanks, enemy squishies, just enemies. His job, he is harassment. He's harassment in the champion. So it all starts with Yasuo's passive, Way of the Wanderer. Yasuo's passive slowly generates a shield for him whenever he moves. It starts out absorbing 100 damage, but it scales with level, and honestly, it's one of the more bullshit abilities or passives in the fucking game, because it's essentially a shield that recharges whenever you want it to. Yeah, sure, it has to be at full charge to use it, but believe me, it comes up when the enemy team least wants it to, and when you most want it to, except for when you most want it to, because then it just doesn't come up at all. But that's not all it does. Way of the Wanderer also doubles Yasuo's crit chance. Doubles it. It doubles his crit. What the? So Way of the Wanderer doubles Yasuo's crit chance while also giving it a 10% reduction to damage. So instead of doing 200% damage per crit, you do 190%, which is still pretty bullshit. However, this passive, yeah, it's just bullshit, because you need two items to get 100% crit. Name one other champion that you can build 2 items and get 100% crit! Yasuo's next ability is his Q, Steel Tempest. Yasuo's Q is essentially just, it's just another auto attack. That's all it is. It's a line skill shot that has a fairly decent range that acts like another Q. It applies all the on-hit effects that you usually get, such as Static Shiv, Phantom Dancer, passive, life steal, pretty much everything that you can imagine that you do on hit, you do it with his Q. However, it has one difference from your auto attacks. When you hit 2 in a row within about an 8-second period, then you gain an empowered version of his Q, which when you use, it sends out a tornado in a line skill shot, knocking up any enemies that it actually hits. This is great for poke, it's great for escapes, and it's actually incredibly useful when we go over the ulti, which, I mean, this is the only reason that his ulti works the way it is. It's because he has this. It's also the only reason that you'll never, ever be able to chase him down if he has this up. Yasuo's W is Wind Wall, and I was too lazy to make a picture for this one because I'm tired of downloading the really shitty JPEGs off of League of Legends forums. Wind Wall, when you use it, is sent out in front of Yasuo, and it slowly moves forward. You don't really notice it, so I don't know why it says that it moves forward over time, but it does, so I mean, I guess that's a thing. It blocks any form of projectile-based skill shot, such as an Ashe ult or an Ezreal ult. However, it doesn't block things like a Vel'Koz ult or a Lux ult. This ability is, you can save lives with it, or you can just be a complete and total asshole. let's say that you push the wave in and they're under tower and they're trying to farm under tower. You could be a complete and total asswipe because you are a Yasuo player and just throw the wind wall out, block all of their projectiles just so that they can't farm, because that's the kind of person that you are, and you seem like you want all the Jews gassed. Yasuo's E is Sweeping Blade, aka, look, I know that you're about to get away with 5 health, but you see, I have my E, which is on a 0.3 second cooldown, and you're within range, so I'm just going to E to you, and you're just going to cry and scream, and probably throw your feet against the floor. Yasuo's E makes him dash to a target. Multiple consecutive dashes build up more damage, which scales off of your AP. I don't know why this one scales off of your AP, it just kinda does. None of his other abilities scale whatsoever off of AP. They all scale off of AD except for this one, which makes Yasuo AP technically viable, except it isn't because it is not a fun champion. Additionally, if you cast his Q while you're using his E, it'll change his Q from a line skill shot to an AoE spin type of thing, which is actually really good for clearing out minion waves or in a team fight if you want to get a 5-man ult, because you're just a fucking asshole, because you see the opportunity and you're like, I'm gonna E in there and I'm gonna Q and I am going to do so much goddamn fucking damage that they won't know what happened. They'll think I turned into Shyvana for a second. I went so. Also, Yasuo's E, whenever you target someone, it goes on specific cooldown for them. Depending on its level, it has a 8 to 6 second cooldown on the same target. So let's say that you E to a minion to get to someone and then you weren't able to E to them. You wouldn't be able to E back on a... Yasuo's ult is incredibly good because not only does it scale with 150% of your AD with a starting damage of 200, but it also applies a secondary passive whenever you use it, giving your crits 50% armor pen. That means that if you're building a 100% crit Yasuo, you get 50% armor pen for 15 seconds. Like, does Riot know what balance is anymore? Pair it up with the Lord Dominic's and the correct masteries, and you can get just about 107 armor penetration. That's 107% of their armor ignored. You see, cause fuck percents. That's why. Oh, what's the... I'm sorry. I didn't think 100% was enough for you, so now I'm going to be ignoring 107% of your armor. I hope that's fine, you fat cunt. So essentially, if you go up against something like a Malphite, or anything that's supposed to build a ton of armor, they better not build armor. If they build armor, they're dead. Because you are going to cut straight through it, right into the juicy flesh of the enemy. Sorry about that, I got a little carried away there. So now we're going to be going over runes and masteries. Because fuck it, right? You know, at this point, just fuck it. Who need battle? So for runes, I typically go with this, a kind of attack speed, attack damage hybrid, which lets you get your autos off faster and lets your Q do more damage. It's a pretty good combination. I've seen a lot of people go pure AD, which honestly is also viable, but I prefer the extra attack speed in the early game, which allows me to get the extra CS that I need to really get an advantage. And then I use these as my masteries typically, and people will tell you that Warlords is actually very good on Yasuo, and let me tell you, I don't see a difference. So here's the thing. You need to build the ultimate burst Yasuo. Because, let's be honest here, if you ult someone, you're going in hard, because you blink straight to them and destroy them. So, why run that when you could just run this? You get extra lethality, which is, you know, that extra nice armor pen, good early game, and then you also get Thunderlords, because fuck the enemy team, fuck them in the ass, they don't need Jesus, there's just punish. And I mean, all in all, you don't really need any combos with Yasuo. It's pretty much just get your Q proc off, ult, E, Q them, and then if they have any skill shots, E to a nearby minion to maybe juke them out, Q them again, E through them yet again, and then ignite whatever, it doesn't really matter. And then you can build whatever, as long as you build Phantom Dancer and Infinity Edge first. You can always get a BF sword before you actually build your Phantom Dancer, because then it just gives you that extra damage with that crit chance, which is now doubled, so you now have 60% crit chance instead of just 30. And then, once you build your Infinity Edge, congrats, you have 100% crit plus 240% crit damage. So you're just OP at this point. Then, I mean, if you want to, I don't know, solo Baron, you can build Bloodthirster or anything like that that gives you more attack damage, because honestly, you don't really need any more attack speed from anything. Of course, you could build Berserker's Greaves, but typically I like to go for either Ninja Tabi or Merc Treads, depending on the matchup. Typically, Berserker Greaves is good because it gives you 1.4 attack speed, which is a very nice attack speed, but sometimes you just need the extra MR and the extra slow resist. It's 100% situational. If you're ahead in lane, go Berserker Greaves. If you're behind, go Ninja Tabi or Merc Treads. It really, truly does not matter. And finally, just, you gotta be careful. You really gotta be careful with Yasuo's abilities, because a lot of them are high risk, high reward, such as his ult. If you use it at the wrong time, or you don't get the stun off on everyone in a team fight, you will immediately get focused, because it doesn't have any lasting stun. It doesn't have any form of after effect that prevents enemies from attacking you. It just kind of does its thing and pisses off into space. So you've really got to time your abilities well. You've got to make sure that you land those Qs. You've got to make sure that you maximize your E damage. And there's a lot to manage with him. But all in all, he is a well-rounded champion. You can build him tank. You can build him full AD. You can build him attack speed, attack damage. Hell, you can fucking build him attack power, ability power. I don't know, dude. You can build whatever, man. Build whatever you want, because guess what? Odds are you're still gonna lose, because your team's gonna call you boosted and they're gonna throw. And I mean, that's how most games of Yasuo go. And since I'm not some dude who got any running jokes yet, I'm just gonna end the video. Who needs flashy outros when you have smooth jazz from France? And I'm just kidding. I just googled royalty-free music. And, hey man, this is the first result. But I don't know, comment or some shit if you like this fuckery. I don't know what's going on, man. Just let me know how you think the video is.